Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today is Monday, the 17th of February, and I'm coming back to you with another coronavirus video. First off, with the numbers for today, they stand at 71,442 cases worldwide, with 1,776 deaths. But I've decided from now on, I'm not even gonna focus on the new cases within China. As long as most of them are coming from Hubei province, I'm not even gonna focus on that because it's getting a bit boring now. Hubei province, to be honest, in my opinion, either they're all going to get it or it's just going to continue on the continuing trend, which is leading to about 10 to 20% of the whole of the province being infected. That's my opinion, just an opinion, because I'm basing that on the boat. Oh, I keep saying boat. That cruise ship, you know, the one off the coast of Japan, where that one today stands at 454 cases with 99 cases added today. That's ridiculous. That's more than 10% of that cruise ship have been infected. And to be honest, I think that will be the general rule of thumb for any kind of population. I think the natural infection rate for this virus is going to be about 10%. Because what I'm seeing on that cruise ship and what I'm seeing is the general trend and the rumors for Hubei province, the numbers that they're all suggesting that it's about 10% of the population that's been infected. So I'm not too interested in the numbers for China anymore because until it gets to 10% or more, that's the only time it will be more interesting. Now, Japan, like I said yesterday, seems to be on the verge of having a major outbreak. New cases just popping up all over the place, and you know, these people are all people that haven't had direct links to China, so it means that there's a trail of people that have been infected and passed it on without knowing, that we're yet to find out. That Diamond Princess cruise ship, to be honest, these people should be let off. I don't mean let off and just go straight out into Japan and infect everyone. I mean like they should be taken home by their home countries. That is officially the zombie ship of 2020, and I'm hoping that there are no more zombie ships. Although that other cruise ship, right? One person got let off and then it was later found that they were actually infected. That's ridiculous. Come on, Cambodia. Beijing is on lockdown. What does that mean? Well, it just means that people generally, I say generally because it's not like the rest of China right now. Generally, people are just going to work and from work, or to the supermarket and from the supermarket, and that's about it. No one can have visitors because every apartment complex now is not letting in anyone that doesn't live there. You can't have visitors, and you can't just go to the park to hang around because there's just security guards everywhere. I don't know where these security guards come from, to be honest. It's like when anything happens in China, they can suddenly bring out like an extra 5 million security guards, like 3 guards at every single entrance to every single apartment complex in the entire country. How do they do that? It's like, where are they keeping them all year? But in some countryside areas, it does mean that people are taking things into their own hands. Yeah, the second city in Hubei, which is called Xiaogan, that city is on full lockdown. Like full on lockdown, as in what you think it means. It means people cannot even leave their apartments. And they've got, once again, I just don't know how they find these people. But anyway, that city is on full on lockdown, so people can't leave their house, but every single apartment building will have a full service, as in breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and all the in-betweens, everything delivered to their doors by, you know, by people in hazmat suits or whatever whatever the service people are wearing. But think about the logistics of that. Let me just check how many people live in Xiaogan. I think the built-up area is like 780,000 people. But then the district, the city, the entire city boundary is like 4 million people. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter how many people. Every single person in the entire city cannot leave their home. And every single person in the city is accounted for and gonna have door-to-door service for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and all the in-betweens. You cannot leave the home at all. So just think about that. And it's not the only city. It's the newest one that I've heard of that's happening like from today, I think, or from last night. But this is happening in a few cities across the country. Not Beijing, but that is crazy. Where do they find these people? I mean, who's cooking the food? That's like a lot of food to be prepared in one place and then distributed across the city. That's crazy. So yeah, that's happening. There's been reports of people trying to profit from this situation and making fake face masks. So in China, you know, everything's made in China and people can make whatever they want, really. As in, there are the machines and the raw materials to make everything in the country. So if someone wants to fake something, it's not very difficult to do it. But when you get caught doing it, of course, there's a massive penalty. So right now, because of the severity of the situation, they are giving really harsh penalties, up to life in prison, for making fake face masks. I'm not sure if that counts for the sale of fake face masks. I just know that if you're making them, you could face up to life in prison right now. So don't make any fake face masks. And if you see fake face masks, I can't even say it, fake face masks. If you see it on the internet or something, don't try and buy it and don't try and sell it, because it's not a good idea and you're probably going to get into a lot of trouble. A company made a video, like an image, I should say, a map image of where the coronavirus could be right now, based on the flights from once they discovered they had the coronavirus problem until they locked down Wuhan and Hubei province. So that gap, they used tracking for flights to get an approximate location of where these passengers have been, the ones that have been through Wuhan or set out from Wuhan, and where they could be now all around the world. And it's quite scary. WHO. I haven't really paid much attention to the WHO until this virus, and to be honest, I think the world would just be better without the WHO, because what the hell, what are they doing? Except for putting little banners on YouTube and Twitter, they're not actually, it doesn't seem like they are helping in any way, shape or form. Constantly delivering the messages of don't panic, it's not going to go anywhere. It's like the WHO is not ahead of the curve at all. The WHO is being responsive and not proactive. It's only a problem for China, it's only a problem for China. Okay, now it's spreading to some other countries, and now we're not worried about China, we're just worried about the other countries. Okay, so are you a news source, or are you actually gonna try and do something to, help prevent the spread? I mean, I hear the WHO is in Beijing. That's not where the virus is spreading. It's spreading in Wuhan. Why is the WHO in Beijing, not in Wuhan? I don't understand. I really don't understand. What's the point of the WHO? I just don't get it. WHO seems to be more bothered about not interfering with tourism, which is my next thing I want to talk about, because because of the WHO saying all that nonsense about don't stop air travel, don't stop traveling to China, don't interfere with the tourism economy. Well, great, WHO, because now, guess what? That coronavirus has been spread to all across the world, and Japan's going to have a major problem. And right now, no one's blocking Japan flights, so Japanese people are flying all around the world, potentially carrying the virus, or anyone else who's travelled or transferred within Japan could be potentially carrying the virus to elsewhere. And this is all because the WHO says, no, don't interfere with tourism, it doesn't affect tourism. No problem at all. Just keep going, keep flying and taking the virus all around the world. WHO, I don't know, so maybe someone else can tell me, like, what is the point of the WHO? And the last thing I want to talk about is today is the first day that students go back to school in China. And that means that they're going to have online classes. I spoke to my friend and she told me her daughter now has classes from 8 something in the morning until 4 something PM. And they are in the format of video lectures. So they log in to the website, either on the iPad or on the computer. They log in, they watch the video lecture, then they have a break time, like 10 or 20 minutes. After that, then they have their next lessons, and it continues like that. Then they have lunchtime, and then they finish their classes at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, they need to hand in their homework. So they need to do their homework, whether it's on paper or on the computer, and submit it through the online system so that the teacher can get it on time, 5 days a week, just like regular school. So there's no rest for these kids, even though they're not going to school physically. They are going to school, because every day at 8 something in the morning they have to log in, and all the teachers can see, did they log in on time, were they late, and they have to watch the videos at the right times and do the homework on the day, submit it to the teacher. So it's literally just like being at school. So I'm wondering what happens in those families where they have 2 parents who aren't working from home and they should go into work. There are some offices now that are open. So I'm wondering what happens in those families where 2 parents must go to the office and 1 student must do online classes. Is one of the parents going to take the kid with them to work, and then the student does the work on the iPad? I'm not sure how that works, but it's a stressful time for everyone. And the final thing for today, I think I said the last thing already, but the final thing for today is one of Hillary's friends' dad has lost his job as a result of this. The company has just gone out of business, just like that, because they can't open, they can't make the money, and they can't make ends meet. So her dad has lost his job. Not Hillary's dad, her friend's dad has lost his job. And I can imagine that this is going to happen to quite a lot of people. They're going to lose their jobs over this. So after the crisis of the coronavirus, China will have another crisis on its hands, and that will be to figure out what to do with all these people who are newly unemployed. Okay, well, that's everything for today. I've said enough, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to have a rest. And like I say, as of tomorrow, I'm not going to talk about how many new cases are in China. I'll give you the total. I'll mention the totals, but I'm not going to focus too much on how many new cases inside China, because to be honest, I think the rest of China has got it under control, but in Hubei province, I just feel like it's going to get up to 10%, and then I don't know what's going to happen after that. So I'm not even interested in that anymore, because that's already on lockdown. It's going to stay there. It's the rest of the world I'm worried about. Japan, UK, USA, Canada, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. Oh my God, there's so many countries where it's starting to go up and up and up slowly. But all right, well, see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.